Well, good morning, everyone. Just got off of work, got home. I have been itching to go fishing, one of my favorite things to do. And I was thinking about going on down and doing a little fishing on the riverbank. Haven't done that in a while. But I got to thinking about the weather. It's just got out of the 30s. It barely dipped into it this morning, so it feels great right now. I almost need a jacket, but I know as soon as I start working, it'll warm up. So I figured I better take advantage of this nice cool weather because the next several days it's supposed to be getting in the 70s, so it's going to warm up a lot. And while this log splitter does the majority of the work for me, lifting these rounds and stacking the wood does tend to heat me up. So being that it's Florida, the weather fluctuates, all through winter and spring. Figure I better jump on splitting this wood up. Kind of in the mood to do a little more wood splitting anyways. So the plan today is to fill up these two racks right here. That shouldn't take long at all. I've got all these firewood rounds that I got out of the last video. Hopefully you watched that. It's another very well seasoned oak tree. Actually, a lot of this wood is ready to burn right now. It's been seasoning on the ground for probably 2 to 3 years. So I'm not seeing much moisture left in this tree other than just a couple pieces. So we're going to split it, stack it. This is what we're currently burning right now in our fire pit. We're going to continue to burn for the next couple months, weather allowing. So whatever I stack up today, most likely we're going to go through, which is fine with me because I want to empty up a couple more racks. So whenever I start getting into some green trees for next year, I've got the room for it. So let's fire up the old log splitter here. I'll probably talk a little bit about it today. Last couple splitting videos, I just split, didn't talk much about it, but a couple of people have been asking some questions. And this log splitter has been one of our more popular videos on the channel. So I know the Countyline log splitter is definitely a popular log splitter just across the web if you read reviews and kind of look in forums. So let me go and answer a couple quick questions before we get started. First of all, the only issue that I have had thus far, and I've split several loads of wood with it, was I had the splitter actually chip one day. Just a small section right here. I don't know if you can see that. And somebody was asking about it. If I had, I'd talked about welding in and possibly building that edge back up. And I have not done that. And I don't think I'm going to. It's still splitting just fine. And if you didn't watch that particular episode, what happened was I was splitting live oak, which is the toughest wood that we have down here. And it had a knot in it. And it hit some of the hardest wood I have ever seen in my life. A knot in there that, it just felt like metal. And it actually chipped this section right here out. I haven't seen any other chips happen. I haven't been any other wood or hit a knot like that, so it may happen again, it may not. But I can always weld that edge up, grind it back down, and build it up if need be. But I haven't seen any, lack in performance because of that. I did add the log splitter catch. That's been a great addition. I do wish it was larger, but I haven't added on to it yet. Haven't really seen the need to. Everything that I'm going to be splitting today, I'm not going to be able to stack anything up there. Pretty much the catch is going to be to split the log, roll one piece over. Now when I split smaller stuff, I'll stack 2 or 3 over there. That's kind of where I wish it was a little bigger to have an additional piece waiting on me. As far as the log splitter itself, it has split every single thing I have asked it to. I have split much larger rounds than what you're seeing here. Green stuff, a lot of dry stuff, hasn't been a problem. The toughest wood we split down here, like I said, is live oak. Sometimes it will bog in a piece of live oak, but then it kind of catches, powers up, goes right on through it. So I do not regret my purchase at all. Haven't seen any leaks, no problems. And what's been impressing me the most with this log splitter is that little engine right there. It's got the Kohler 6.5 horsepower on it. And I'm about to show me starting it up. As cold as can be, just pulled it out of the shop. But here lately, it's been starting every single time with one pull. Maybe it won't make me a liar today. So that's pretty impressive. Normally a small engine, 2 to 3 pulls is pretty good to me. But one, that's nice. So it purrs like a kitten. It is a bit loud, but it's a single cylinder. It hasn't given me any issues whatsoever. So let's get this fired up, split this wood. Woo! I was afraid I might not have enough room, and that wound up being the case. But there's not much left on the ground. So as I keep pulling wood off this rack and burning it, I can put this right back up there within the next week or two. And that brings me to a good point. I had a viewer ask, why did I build this wood rack so long? And he kind of hit on one point. For one reason, I have the room to do that. But he was wondering why I didn't build it deeper than I did. And it's a good question, but I had covered it in another episode. One reason I wanted to leave this as single rack space is so when I leave wood split like this, or when I haul all these rounds in, like I have over the last few weeks, there's mess all right here. So instead of having to crawl across all this to try to get wood off my rack to put in the Ranger and burn, or in a truck, I can pull right here on the back side of this rack, no matter how much mess is in front of it, and it's a clean open space back there. I can pull directly off the rack. So I really enjoy that. That doesn't make me feel rushed to bring a whole bunch of rounds or split wood up here and try to find somewhere to stick it. I'm okay with leaving rounds in front of some of these rack spaces for weeks or months if I need to. They won't season as quick that way. As I empty a rack, I'll split it, fill it back up. Now that's to say I won't make a deep rack in the future, but I like having access to a single rack that I know is dried or what's in it from either side. If there's 2 racks deep, I may not get access to the back or the front as conveniently. So that's kind of one reason I really want to do it this way. And again, the other reason is I have the room to make a really long racks. If I was in a really tight corner or had a small piece of property, yeah, I'd probably make one of those type sheds that are several racks deep and figure out how to stack it in there like that. So it just kind of depends on the space that you have available. Well, as you can see behind me, I'm starting to really fill up a lot of wood. And I'm going to wind up with more seasoned wood than most likely I'm going to be able to burn this year. So who knows, maybe somebody watching this from work or a friend might need a rack of wood. And it looks like I'm probably going to have a little more than I need. However, if it winds up being a cool next couple of months, we'll burn through this because we love having fires. So I've got some, kind of off quality wood that I cleared out of the trail. This green. That's going to be my fire pit wood for next year. And as I burn a few of these racks down, I've still got a half a rack, 1 full rack, and I'll burn through a couple of these, and that's what I'll call my quality wood for next year. So I'll put my oak in there. That's what we'll burn in our house if it's built and ready by then. And if somebody maybe wants to buy a couple racks, I'll sell a couple racks as well. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to split and cut more wood this year than I can fit here. That very likely may happen. I've still got some landscape timbers, and I may put some on the back and just stack the wood, out from underneath the tin. The tin is kind of not necessary. Wood's not going to sit there and absorb moisture unless it's actually laying in wet dirt. Just having it stacked outside in the open, a little rain here and there is not going to matter because the wind's going to come through and keep it dry. So I still may wind up with more firewood than you're seeing here now. And if that's the case, I'll try to sell a little bit next year. So, like all the other times, this log splitter's still doing fantastic. Other than the tiny little chip in the splitter head, it has given me 0 issues. I'm still enjoying it. I'm already feeling like I'm getting my money's worth out of it, even though I haven't sold any firewood. We've done burn a lot, and I've got a lot stacked up here. So in my mind, it doesn't take long to pay for one of these, especially saving your back. Do I miss splitting with a chopper small and axe? Maybe a little, but not that much. It's kind of enjoyable splitting with an axe, maybe even a little quicker. But at the end of the day, your back sure does feel it, and I'm really enjoying this hydraulic log splitter. So it was a good investment, I think, for us. I think I'll get quite a few years use out of it. So if you have any questions, please drop a comment. And I don't hardly ever say this, but we get a lot of views, especially on these log splitter videos, some of them thousands of views. So if you would, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow. I know I watch a lot of videos and sometimes forget to do that. So if you're interested in the channel, by all means subscribe. If not, hey, no hard feelings. That's what YouTube's for. Millions of other creators that you can watch. But if you do that, the like and subscribe really does help push the channel, get in the YouTube algorithm where they'll suggest our channel more. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you to all the new subscribers. And we just broke 500 subscribers, so the channel's been steadily growing. I appreciate all y'all coming along for the journey. Thank you.